Good morning one and all. Welcome to my channel. So today we shall start the lesson 6 of standard 10th. The eyes are not here. The eyes are not here is a lesson which is written by Ruskin Bond. To tell you about the poet, Ruskin Bond was born in Mussorie in Himachal Pradesh in the year 1934. He is one of the finest storytellers in English in India. He has written several novels, short stories and also books for children. Many of his stories are based on Mussoorie. It is a hill station which is located at the foothills of Himalayas. That is where he lived. Where he lives, Ruskin Bond. He has written many stories based on Mussoorie. This present lesson, The Eyes Are Not Here, is about the blind people. The narrator, who is said to be blind, and a girl enters the compartment. She is also blind, but both of them don't know that each other are blind. So this is the story. Generally, we see the blind, the deaf, the dumb leading a normal life. We see the blind, the deaf, the dumb who lead a normal life. The blind who cannot see, the deaf who cannot hear, the dumb who cannot speak, but still they lead a normal life. Here also in the story, there is a man who is blind and is traveling by a train. But let me make one thing clear. The person described here in this lesson is not blind from birth. Earlier he had eyesight, now he has lost his eyesight. So this is an important thing which you have to remember, children. So let me start the summary point wise as per your requests. So the first point in your lesson, here the narrator himself is said to be blind. He has taken a compartment. He was travelling all alone till Rohana station. He was all alone till Rohana station. There at Rohana station, a girl got in the compartment. The girl was said to be with her parents. The girl was with her parents, who seemed to be very anxious about her comfort. Whenever your parents come with you to the railway station, and when you're alone traveling somewhere, they give you so many advices. In the same way, her parents were with her and they were very much anxious about her comfort. So the mother, you know how the mothers are, always giving instructions. It is for your good. The mother gave her instructions as to where to keep the things, when not to lean out of the window, how to avoid talking to strangers, and many more things. As a mother, even I give many instructions to my son. So maybe your mother. Here the girl's mother also gave so many instructions. Both the parents, that is the mother and the father. The mother and the father together are said to be the parents. Here said goodbye to the girl when the girl got into the train and the train was about to leave. The train pulled out of the station and they just said goodbye to the girl. The train started. Coming to the second point, the narrator was totally blind. At present, when the story is being described, the narrator was totally blind and his eyes were sensitive only to the light and darkness. He was not able to tell what the girl looked like, but he could surely tell that she wore slippers that made a sound whenever she walked, when she entered the compartment. She walked and that made the sound. So the narrator who was sitting here came to know that she wore slippers. He could not tell anything about her looks because he was blind. But he could tell that she had a sweet voice. The girl had a sweet voice. Coming to the third point, the narrator speaks to the girl and asks her if she was traveling to Dehra. The girl was shocked to hear a voice. She said that she didn't realize someone else was there in the compartment. The girl had not seen that there was one more person in the compartment because she was blind. The narrator, coming to the fifth point, the narrator tells the girl that people with good eyesight fail to see all the things that come their way. They have so many things to take in, the people who have eyesight. They have so many things to take in, so they forget most of the important things that have to be seen, that have to be recognized. He says, but it is not so with the people who cannot see or can see very little. He says that the people with weak eyesight or no eyesight take in all the essentials that come on their way, that are needed. So the narrator tells the girl that even he had not seen her, but he had only heard her come in. The narrator makes it clear that the girl, when she entered, narrator had not seen the girl but only heard her come in. Coming to point number 7 till 13, from 7 to 13 I have described here. The narrator tried to pretend as if he was not blind. He did not want the girl to know that he was blind. The girl said that actually why he did not want the girl to know that he was blind, he thought the girl had eyesight. So he pretended as if even he had eyesight. He did not want the girl to know that he was blind. The girl said that she was getting down at Saharanpur station. The narrator, the author, had asked the girl where she would get down. So now the girl answers that she was getting down at Saharanpur station where her aunt stayed. It was her aunt's place. She said she was going to meet her aunt. So she would get down at which station? Saharanpur station. Where she had boarded the train? She had gotten the train at Rohana station. The narrator says, aunts are formidable creatures. The narrator says, aunts are formidable creatures. The girl now asks the narrator where he was travelling to. He said he was travelling to Dehra and then to Mussoorie. He was travelling to Dehra and then to Mussoorie. The girl was happy to hear this and she said that she wished even she could go to Mussoorie. She had only heard about Mussoorie and she wished even she could go there. Beautiful hill station at the foothills of Himalayas. She loved the hills and the hill station. The climate there in October was too good. The narrator tells the girl that October was the best time to visit Mussoorie. He describes the place in a wonderful way. He says, the hills are covered with flowers like wild dahlia, the sun delicious and the night would be best. Listening to music and sitting in front of a log fire. So coming to point number 14, the girl silently listened to the author. The author now wondered if his words had touched her heart, or she thought him to be a romantic fool, or she realized that he was blind. There were thoughts in the narrator's mind. Coming to point number 15 to 20 of your text, the explanation of these points. But this doubt of his was soon cleared when the girl asked the narrator to look out of the window. The narrator pretended to study the landscape and enjoy the beauty of nature. He asked the girl if she had noticed that trees seem to move while a person remains still. She answered to him saying that it always happened. She further says that there are no animals left out, or very few animals were left out in the forests of Dehra. Very few animals were left out in the forests of Dehra. Here, see to the thing that both are blind. Both are pretending as if they both can see. Coming to point number 21 to 28, the narrator now tells the girl she had an interesting face. The girl smiles and tells the man that it's nice to hear this remark. She was tired of hearing people tell her she had a pretty face. So people, whomever she met, they always said she had a pretty face. But the comment which the narrator passed was, she has an interesting face. This line usually appears for the RCs, for the reference to contexts. So the narrator tells her, an interesting face can also be pretty. The girl tells the narrator that he was a gallant young man. The girl had liked the words or the way in which the narrator was speaking, and the narrator liked the discussion with the girl. The narrator now tells the girl that her station was nearing. The girl was happy because it was a short journey for her. She said that he couldn't travel for a long time. She said that she couldn't travel. She told the narrator that she couldn't travel for a long time. She could not bear to sit in the train for more than 2 to 3 hours. Coming to point number 29, the narrator imagines that the girl's voice had a sparkle of mountain stream. He was prepared to sit with the girl for a longer time. He thought the girl would forget him once she would get down, but he would always remember the journey. Anyway, it is very interesting for a person to travel with a girl, to have a discussion with a young girl, beautiful girl. Coming to point number 31, the train was just entering the station. The engine made a different sound. The carriage wheels changed their sound and the rhythm. The girl got up, collected her things. The man now wondered if the girl wore her hair in a bun, or it was plaited, or hung loose over her shoulders, or if it was cut short. See, this man who is blind wants to know whether the hair of the girl is tied up or left loose. How interesting. How much he is worried about the girl, the narrator, the author. Yes, children, you all know this very well. In the month of June, your school starts. Any new admission, particular new admission is of a girl who is beautiful, enters your class. What happens? You all happen to notice her, find an opportunity to talk to her, observe her, isn't it? Yes, this does happen with all of us. Point number 32 to 35. When the train was at the station, there was a shouting of porters and vendors. You must have happened to see the railway station. Lots of noise of the porters, coolies, vendors, sellers. So many are there. Also, there was a voice of the girl's aunt. The girl now said goodbye to the narrator. She stood so close to him that he could smell the perfume of her hair. He wanted to touch her hair. By then, the girl moved away. Very bad for the narrator. But the smell of the perfume still remained in the author's mind. To express this, he uses a particular statement. You may break, you may shatter the vase if you will, but the scent of the roses will linger there still. This sentence usually appears for your reference to context. Here there is a figure of speech used, that is metaphor. The presence of the girl is compared to the vase. Shattering of the vase is the departure of the girl, going away of the girl from the compartment. The scent of the roses refers to the perfumed hair of the girl. So this particular sentence is very important. Coming to point number 36-37. Another man, a new fellow traveller, entered the compartment. The guard blew the whistle and the train left the station. The narrator says he had once again to play a new game. With a new fellow traveller, the train gathered speed and the wheels took up their song. The narrator says that he sat back on the window seat. There was daylight outside, but for him it was only darkness. Why? Because he didn't have eyesight. So it was only darkness for him. Whether outside it is light, it is dark. For the blind, it is always dark. Coming to point number 38-40. There were many things happening outside the window. The man who had entered into the compartment began to speak with the narrator. He said, the narrator must be disappointed to lose such a beautiful company. That is the company of the beautiful girl. The narrator now curiously asked the new fellow traveller, did the girl keep her hair long or short? The narrator is still worried about the hair of the girl. He still wants to know whether the girl had kept her hair short or was it she had pleated it. Were the hair long? He wanted to know. The man tells the narrator that he did not observe the hair of the girl, but he noticed that she had beautiful eyes. But they were of no use to her as she was completely blind. The new fellow traveller who entered the compartment told the narrator that he had not observed the hair of the girl, but he had observed the eyes of the girl. She had beautiful eyes, but those beautiful eyes were of no use to her. Why? Because she was completely blind. The man asked the narrator, didn't you notice? You were sitting with her in the compartment. Didn't you notice? The man who asked this question did not know that even the narrator with whom he was talking to was blind. Thus ends the story. The eyes are not here. Ruskin Bond has put it in a very nice way. The story which he has presented is in a beautiful manner. Now, after listening to the summary of this lesson, the question which comes to our mind is, how was the narrator able to describe Mussoorie if he was blind? The narrator was not actually born blind. He was not blind by his birth. He had lost his eyesight. Earlier he had eyesight. When he had eyesight, he had seen Mussoorie, and that is why he was able to describe Mussoorie. Hope you have understood the summary of the lesson. Coming to the examination point of view, where was the narrator travelling to? To which station? Dehra and then to Mussoorie. Where was the girl travelling to? Saharanpur station. How is Mussoorie described by the narrator? Dahlias, the sun and the fireplace, all that. Which month is the best to visit Mussoorie? October. The narrator, being blind, could describe Mussoorie. How? Reference to context, you have to write it in 2 paragraphs. She has an interesting face, or you have an interesting face. That is the RC, or it may be you may break, you may shatter the vase. That RC, or I didn't see you either, the girl says. When the girl entered the compartment, at that time, what game the narrator had to play with the fellow traveller? What game the narrator had to play with the fellow traveller? Simply discussion. Write brief character sketch of the narrator. One more RC will be, can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? The narrator is always worried about this. So that you have to explain in 2 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you will always write, this extract is taken from the lesson so and so, written by the lesson name and the author. Second paragraph, you will explain it, when it was said, by whom it was said, in what context it was said. So coming to the next question, what is revealed in the story at the end? That both of them were blind, but both pretended as if they had eyesight. So hope you have liked the summary of the poem. As per your request, it has been put point wise, but paragraph wise reading is difficult because the video becomes too lengthy. Hope you have liked my video. Hope you have understood the summary of the lesson. If you have liked my video, if you have understood the summary, do like, share and subscribe my video for my further upcoming videos. Thank you.